Welcome to Passive, the powerful channel, and great to have you again. Have you ever felt a knot in your stomach when you think about money? A heavy weight on your chest that just won't go away? You're not alone. Today, we're going to talk about something incredibly important, something that affects millions of us, but that we rarely discuss openly: the hidden emotional cost of debt. It's not just about the numbers on a spreadsheet or the interest rates on a loan. It's about the sleepless nights, the constant worry, and the feeling that you're trapped. Let's peel back the layers and really understand what's going on beneath the surface. First, let's talk about the stress and anxiety. When you're in debt, your brain can go into a constant state of fight or flight. Every phone call from an unknown number might feel like a threat. Every unopened envelope could contain bad news. This chronic stress isn't just mentally exhausting. It has real physical consequences. It can lead to headaches, digestive issues, high blood pressure, and a weakened immune system. It's like carrying a heavy backpack every single day, and you're never allowed to put it down. This constant pressure can make it hard to focus at work, to be present with your family, and to simply enjoy the little things in life. Then there's the shame and guilt. Society often tells us that debt is a personal failure. We see images of financial success everywhere, and it's easy to feel like you've done something wrong if you're struggling. This can lead to a deep sense of shame, making you want to hide your situation from everyone, even the people who love you most. You might feel guilty about past spending decisions, replaying them over and over in your head. This internal blame game is incredibly destructive. It isolates you and makes it harder to seek help, because you feel like you don't deserve it. You start telling yourself stories like, "I'm bad with money," or "I'll never get out of this." This negative self-talk becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, chipping away at your self-esteem and confidence. This isolation is a huge part of the problem. The shame associated with debt often forces us into secrecy. We don't want to burden our partners, disappoint our parents, or be judged by our friends. So, we suffer in silence. This loneliness is a heavy burden. Humans are social creatures. We need connection and support, especially when we're going through a tough time. But when you're hiding a major part of your life, it creates a barrier between you and others. You might turn down invitations to go out because you can't afford it, but you make up another excuse. You might avoid conversations about future plans, like vacations or buying a home, because they feel impossibly out of reach. This disconnect can lead to feelings of depression and profound loneliness. You feel like you're on an island, watching everyone else sail by. And what about the impact on our relationships? Money is one of the leading causes of conflict in romantic partnerships. When one or both partners are stressed about debt, it can create constant tension. Arguments can erupt over small purchases. Trust can erode if one person has been hiding debt from the other. The joy and spontaneity in the relationship can be replaced by anxiety and resentment. It's not just romantic relationships either. Friendships can be strained. You might feel envious of a friend's financial freedom, or you might feel like you can't keep up with their lifestyle. It can even affect your relationship with your children, as the stress can make you less patient and more irritable. You want to give them the world, but you're constantly worried about providing even the basics. Another hidden cost is what psychologists call decision fatigue. When you are constantly worrying about money, your brain is working overtime. Every single financial choice, no matter how small, feels monumental. Can I afford this coffee? Should I buy the brand name cereal or the store brand? This constant mental calculation is exhausting. It depletes your cognitive resources, leaving you with less mental energy for other important areas of your life, like your work, your hobbies, or your personal growth. It can lead to a state of analysis paralysis, where you're so afraid of making the wrong move that you end up doing nothing at all, which often makes the situation worse. Perhaps one of the most devastating emotional costs is the loss of hope. When you're deep in debt, it can feel like you're in a dark tunnel with no light at the end. You can't imagine a future where you're not worried about money. You stop dreaming. The idea of pursuing a passion, starting a business, or even just taking a real vacation seems like a fantasy. This hopelessness is incredibly dangerous. It can lead to a sense of apathy and resignation, where you just give up. It can steal your motivation and your joy for life. When you lose hope, you lose your why. Why work hard? Why try to improve? It all feels pointless. So, we've painted a pretty bleak picture. But I want to be very clear. This is not the end of the story. Recognizing these emotional costs is the first crucial step toward healing. The most important thing you can do is break the silence. Start by talking to someone you trust. A partner, a close friend, a family member. Just saying the words, "I'm struggling with debt" out loud can be incredibly liberating. It takes the power away from the shame. You might be surprised to find that they don't judge you. Instead, they offer support and maybe even share their own financial struggles. If you don't feel comfortable talking to someone you know, or if you need more structured help, please consider seeking professional support. This can come in two forms, and both are equally important. First, a nonprofit credit counseling agency. These organizations are filled with trained professionals who can help you create a realistic budget, negotiate with your creditors, and develop a debt management plan. They offer a judgment-free space and practical, actionable steps. It's not about being scolded. It's about being empowered with a roadmap. They can show you that there is a path out of the tunnel. Second, a mental health professional. A therapist or counselor can help you unpack the emotional baggage of debt, the anxiety, the shame, the guilt. They can provide you with coping strategies for stress, help you rebuild your self-esteem, and work with you to challenge those negative thought patterns. Remember, your mental health is just as important as your financial health. They are deeply intertwined. If you are feeling overwhelmed, hopeless, or are having thoughts of harming yourself, please reach out for help immediately. You can call or text 988 in the United States and Canada to connect with the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, or find a similar resource in your country. Your life is infinitely more valuable than any amount of debt. Now, let's talk about taking back control. It starts with small, manageable steps. Create a simple budget. You don't need fancy software. A piece of paper will do. Write down all your income and all your expenses. Knowledge is power. Seeing where your money is going is the first step to directing it where you want it to go. Celebrate small wins. Did you stick to your budget for a week? Awesome. Did you pay off a small credit card, even if it was just a few $100s? That's a huge victory. These small successes build momentum and help restore that feeling of hope. They prove to you that you are capable of changing your situation. And finally, be kind to yourself. You are not your debt. Your worth as a human being has absolutely nothing to do with your net worth. Forgive yourself for past mistakes. We've all made them. The past is for learning, not for living in. Focus on the positive changes you are making today. Practice self-compassion. Instead of beating yourself up, treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a good friend who is going through the same thing. Getting out of debt is a marathon, not a sprint. There will be good days and bad days. But by acknowledging the emotional toll, breaking the silence, seeking help, and taking small, consistent steps, you can start to heal both your finances and your heart. You can reclaim your peace of mind, your relationships, and your hope for the future. You deserve to live a life free from the heavy weight of financial stress. The journey starts now. Thank you so much for watching Passive to Powerful channel and for allowing me to talk about this sensitive topic. If this video resonated with you, please consider liking and subscribe for content that helps you win with money and peace of mind. And more importantly, share it with someone who is silently struggling. Let's break the stigma around debt together. See you in the next video.